Board of Works and Safety for May 22nd, 2014. Roll call. Aye. Conflict of interest. Approval of minutes of the meeting April 10th, 2014, April 17th, and April 24th.
I don't think anyone had a chance to review those. So I'd like to make a motion that we defer action.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor? Any correspondence? No correspondence. First item, bid opening, Hunt Road reconstruction, Summer Street to Indianapolis Boulevard.
We got 5 bids. First bid is from Reeve Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their Form 96 filled out. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed, and they have their bid bond. Their bid is $1,034,902.30. Next bid is from Rex Construction Company Incorporated, 700 Schiller Avenue, Schererville, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96 filled out. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $798,965.97. Next bid is from H&G Underground Utilities, 7 Burkle Drive, LaPorte, Indiana. Their bid bond. They have their Form 96. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $915,115. Next bid is from Walsh & Kelly Incorporated, 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. They have their non-inclusion affidavit, they have their Form 96, and they have bid bond someplace, I think. I don't see a bid bond. It might be in here. Their bid is $985,384.06. Confirming that in the bid evaluation. The last bid is Hathaway Construction Company Incorporated, Lincoln and Plummer Avenues, P.O. Box 300, Calumet City, Illinois. Bid bond, their non-inclusion affidavit, and their Form 96 filled out. Their bid is $943,807. I'd like to make a motion these be referred to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, ayes have it. Item B, request for proposals, Marquette Greenway, Hammond Phase 3, Sheffield Avenue and 129th Street to the Indiana Toll Road.
It's a professional service, so these are not price sensitive. These are basically qualifications. We've received two. First one from First Group Engineering, 5925 Lakeside Boulevard, Indianapolis, Indiana. And the second one is from Primera, 9200 Calumet Avenue, Suite 301, Munster, Indiana. These would be, I recommend these be referred to engineering for review and recommendation.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item C, agreement with Clark Dietz, Inc. for design engineering for street lighting improvements on the 200 block of Hanover Street, the 48 and 4900 block of Magnolia, and the 4800 and 4900 blocks of Beach Avenue.
And these are all in the second district. The price for this work is $7,850, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve these contracts.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item D, correspondence received from Walsh and Kelly Incorporated requesting permission to close 167th Street west of Indianapolis Boulevard to remove payments of storm structures and reconstruct pavement beginning May 28, 2014, and reopening the traffic in approximately 3 weeks.
I spoke to Walsh and Kelly to see if there's any way that could be kept open, and it doesn't appear that there is. They're going to make every effort to try to get it completed as quickly as possible. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve their request to close the street.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Ayes have it. Item E, correspondence received from Practical Environmental Consultants Incorporated requesting lane closure on 174th Street and the left turn lane on southbound Kennedy Avenue eastbound of 174th Street to conduct groundwater sampling at Speedway, 7345 Kennedy Avenue, on June 19th, 2014.
I'd like to recommend that we approve that lane closure.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item F, amendment number one, the site agreement received from Sprint Spectrum.
Did you get a chance to review this, Chris?
Yes.
And you recommend that we approve it?
We have nothing to do with this right now.
It generates some extra.
$2,500.
So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the site agreement.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item G, demolition hearing on property located at 922 Bauer.
Yes, Mr. President, if we could take out of order item J. Mr. Matthews has spoken with Ms. Cantar about that, and he's ready to proceed. It should be very quick.
This is 814 Hoffman. It was a foreclosure property. First Federal Savings acquired. First Federal was then acquired by People's Bank, and that acquisition has been completed. People's has been talking with the building department, and the decision was to demolish the structure, which was done in the last 2 weeks. So I think we can remove it from the demolition list. It's gone.
Yes, the city concurs.
Motion that we,
Motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Matthews.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, back to the regular order of business then on item G, 922 Bauer. 922 Bauer, there doesn't appear anyone here today on 922 Bauer. We would request that the board enter the demolition order, or affirm the demolition order as presented, and service has been effectuated pursuant to the statute.
a motion that we affirm the request.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 7105 California.
7105 California. Could you please state your name and give your address, sir?
My name is Larry Clark, 5957 Fillmore Place. I'm representing Community Stabilization Group, LLC. They're planning on doing all the repairs and rehab work for 7105 California, and they're planning on paying all the fees and cleanup costs and everything for the property. They're a lien holder. They aren't. I think 6 is when the property goes through a foreclosure sale, and they're planning on bidding on it and taking it over.
So at this point, you have no ownership interest in it?
No, just they're a lien holder. Next week should be
Or do you know what position they're in? For the
first position.
Okay, and
They
when's the
sent
sheriff's
this-
sales schedule?
The 6th.
Do you know,
They sent this letter also to building department, so we're planning on.
authorizing you to come to the hearing?
Yeah, and then we're planning on paying all the costs for. As soon
Okay,
as we
here-
find out what they are, put in a.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
information.
complaints about the fence. That's the kind of the number one thing that's
Mhm.
really in bad shape.
Right.
What's going to be required would be an inspection with the building department
Okay.
right away. And,
Yeah, we'll get that done.
It's here, I think, in the back, right by Abe Lincoln. And you can meet with him if you'd like to schedule that. What we'd like to do is enter the order and then hold it and stay it till August 28th to give you time to
Great.
bid on it, if that's okay with you.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
I think we have an agreement to enter the order. There's no objection by the lien holder. No one else is here present. We request the order be affirmed and hold for status on August 28th.
A motion that we affirm the order and status for August 28th.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it.
Just see him not back here. Oh, yeah, sure.
5111 Calumet.
5111 Calumet. We're going to remove that from the demolition. Motion to remove by the city.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. 5516 Calumet.
We ask that be continued to August 28th. They've had an inspection is scheduled. We're just waiting for the building department to complete that. They should have it done this time.
Motion to continue?
August 28th.
August 28th.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 5105 Calumet.
5105 Calumet, we've asked to be removed from the list. Let's go back. City asked to, 5105 Calumet?
Yeah.
I think we may have
I think there was
wrong
a comment.
address.
Yeah.
Here's what's happened. Could you guys please state your name and address?
So, well, Joaquin Contreras,
Okay.
and
What's your address?
5105 Calumet.
Okay, I think what's happened is that Mr. Contreras has an auto shop there.
Yeah, it's a body
And
shop.
they put the address 5105 in paint on their building, but I don't believe that's the correct address. So what we're trying to figure out is what is the correct address?
The garage is 5111 is the next building close to mine.
So what's your address?
5105.
Mr. President, what's happened is the building we want to tear down says 5105. If you want to make-
We had a fire in.
Correct, I can show you the picture, but 5105, as far as the assessor is concerned, is
So you guys are not.
Yeah.
This is them.
So, right, but no, but that's not that. This is the building we want to tear
Right.
down. That's not that.
No, that's the building, that's 5105.
Right.
The building next door is 5111, and that's the one that needs to be demolished.
Do you occupy this building?
Yeah. Currently.
Yeah. Is that what you guys are?
Yeah,
Body
body
shop.
shop.
But it's not, but it is.
The one you're wanting to tear down is a two-story apartment building.
Right.
5111.
It's the brick.
That's why we need to go back to 5111.
So 5105, just to be clear, Mr. President, we are asking to remove from the demolition list.
We need to go back and do that again.
If we could remove this one and go back to 5111, that's what we would ask.
Make a motion, we remove 5105 from the demolition.
Second that motion.
Motion and a
Okay,
second, all
thank
in
you.
favor?
Appreciate
All
Yes.
opposed?
That's it?
That's it, that's it, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for the mix-up. 5111, if we could go back to 5111.
Okay. That's the one that we made a motion to remove, but you want to,
We want to enter, yes. Is anyone here from 5111 Calumet? Hearing none, we would ask the board to rescind its prior order of removal, and the city would like to ask the board to affirm the demolition order. No one present, and service has been effectuated pursuant to the statute.
so moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 911 Carroll,
I believe Mr. Black is here on 911 Carroll and has no objection to us entering the, or asking the order be affirmed.
That's correct, Judge, or, Mr. President. We are in the middle of a foreclosure, but we're stayed by a Chapter 13. This is in Chapter 13, so there's nothing we can do. We have it boarded and secured, but that's the extent of what we can do right now.
The condition of the property is such that the building department has indicated they'd like to have it demolished, so we would request it be affirmed.
Make a motion that we affirm the order for 911 Carroll.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 2841 Cleveland,
Mr. President, 2841 Cleveland, this is for the garage only. I don't believe I see anyone here. Service has been effectuated pursuant to the statute. We request the order for the garage only at 2841 Cleveland be affirmed.
Make a motion that we affirm the order.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 415 to 417 Conkey,
415, 417 Conkey is has a sign that says St. Anthony Temple on it. It's really just a commercial building. The back of it is in terrible condition, and there's been a lot of complaints from the neighborhood. We would request, there's no one present here regarding that property. We do have good service. We request that order be affirmed as presented.
Make that motion.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, ayes have it. 1530 Davis,
1530 Davis, this is a property that's been in and out of city court, and there's been some issues with the owners. There has been no maintenance there for many years. It's vacant. We'd ask that this matter be affirmed. We do have good service.
Make a motion that we affirm the order.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 270 Florence,
It's the inspector's position and the city's position that this matter be removed from the demolition list due to progress.
Make that motion that we remove it.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. 936 to 38 Highland,
Mr. President, there doesn't appear to be anybody here for 936 38 Highland. We do have good service. This is a boarded-up building right here by City Hall. We'd ask that the order be affirmed as presented.
Make a motion that we affirm the order.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 1130 Highland,
I believe the Lewises are here. They've signed in, 1130 Highland. If you could just state your name and your address.
I'm Rochelle Lewis, 1130 Highland. Mr. Lewis passed,
Is that your
husband,
husband? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
and so I wasn't, I'm asking for an extension. Here's, I had it
Yeah.
painted, yes, painted,
Did
and
you pull
yes,
permits for that?
just to paint.
Okay. You just painted it?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I came and asked for
Is it-
I came and asked, this here was the funeral. And the neighbor called and told me that they were boarding up the house. I came out and I explained to them that the funeral was going on.
Okay.
And so,
Let me ask you a question. Do you reside there?
no, I reside at 1025 Field Street.
Okay, and is this a rental unit? Is it vacant?
Yes, it's vacant at the moment.
I'm sorry,
It's vacant at the
it's
moment.
vacant. And what are the plans for the property?
To get it up to code and to rent it.
All right, when's the last time it's been occupied?
2010,
Okay, so it's been vacant for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I mean, I
So
think,
he's been ill, so he used to take care of all of this. And due to the circumstances, I'm having to,
do you have the, and do you have the ability, do you think you have the financial ability to get
Yes.
it back up to speed? Would you be okay with getting an inspection?
Yes.
Completed? That's $150. You have to go to the building department, schedule an inspection. July date. We're going to continue, we'd ask that it be continued to August 28th to give time for Ms. Lewis to get the inspection done, and we'll check it for status at that time.
okay, because I
Okay.
have had it painted, I just
Okay.
couldn't do anything.
Just make sure you get the inspection done and pay for it sooner rather
Motion
than
that we
later.
move it to August
So
28th.
where does it go?
Building department, maybe with Mr. Cook in the back.
Motion,
Give me his number.
Second.
a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 1108 Highland,
Mr. President, we'd ask this be continued to August 28, 2014. We have had some contact from Mr. Kovachkov, the attorney for the for Bellamy Group, which is the owner.
Make a motion that we move it till, what'd you say, August 20th?
August 28. He has indicated that he would have an inspection done by that time.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 7629 Howard,
7629 Howard. This is a property that's in very poor condition with a tarp on the roof. There is no one here present. We do have good service. We'd ask the board enter the order and affirm the order as presented.
Make a motion that we affirm the order.
Second.
motion, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 6324 Kennedy,
I believe Mr. Tom Schuyler is here for Mr. Hendricks, the owner. This is the old Sportsman's Tap on Kennedy. The roof is basically gone, and it's the city's position that they would like to demolish it. Could you please state your name and the address?
My name's Tom Schuyler. I work for United Services, and we do fire restoration. Mr. Hendricks has retained us to put a new roof on the building and bring everything up to code. I had a conversation with Mr. Cook regarding it, and he has not inspected it yet, however, but we are prepared to apply for a permit whenever it's prudent to do that and get the work done and get it back into condition that will have a roof on it, new facade, and we have a tenant we believe is going to take the space.
You plan on doing that really soon? As soon as you get the
As
inspection?
soon as we can get all the, yes, we could apply for the permit Tuesday if it was all acceptable.
Yeah, I think that we would, there really wouldn't be any permits being issued until we can get an inspection. So I think Kurt wants to get that completed. Kurt, yeah. Yeah, what we'd like to do is enter the order of demolition, but we'll hold it till August 28th. That'll give Mr. Schuyler a chance to get Mr. Cook in there and hopefully get things moving. If everything's going as Mr. Schuyler suggests in August, I'm sure we'll be able to either continue it again or get it off the list.
Okay.
So you're okay with that, Mr.
Yes,
Schuyler? Okay,
yes,
so we
I'll get with Kurt and we'll get that inspection
Motion
done
to
right
affirm the
away.
order, put stuff by.
hold it till August 28th.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 6537 Madison,
We'd ask this to continue to August 28th. We do have contact with the attorney for the owner.
A motion, we move it to August 28th.
Second.
motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 7554 Magnolia,
Mr. President, I've spoken with Mr. Driscoll here, who's representing the bank, and we do, I believe, have an agreement to enter the order and stay the matter till August 28th of 14 to check for status. And during that time, the bank is going to pay and have an inspection done.
That's my agreement.
August 28th, Kevin, is that what you said?
Enter the order in August 28th.
Affirm the order, move it to August 28th.
Second.
motion and a second, All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks, Commissioner.
6537 Madison.
I think we did that. We're on
Was that the
maintenance.
one we
President.
just did? Okay, excuse me. 7554 Magnolia.
That's what Mr. Driscoll was just here on. We're on 1019 May.
1019 May Street.
1019 May.
Applied for the permits already?
Yeah, Mr. Magallanes is here. I believe that the inspection was, we're going to ask this be continued to August 28th and check status.
I had we had already
Yeah.
applied for the roofing.
Okay, show that to Kurt. August 28th, Mr. President. Okay, August 28th, yeah, we'll send you a letter. Thanks.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 1116 Mulberry. Ayes have it. 3842 177th Street.
I believe the owner is present here today, or a representative. A couple guys are here. If you could just please get your... Well, we'll have to figure this out. Okay. Go ahead and state your name and your address.
Kevin Kennedy, 11512 West 183rd Street,
Where's that, at Lansing?
Orland Park, Illinois.
Orland Park, okay. And what's your position with the property owner?
We're the listing agent for the seller, Crestar Properties.
Okay.
Property is currently under contract with the buyer that's currently present.
We're
And
gonna
once
get
the,
his name,
it's
too.
an as-is.
Hi. Could you please make sure to state your name and your address and the company you're with?
Thad Niemeyer, 8795 Sheffield, Dyer, Indiana.
Okay, Mr. Niemeyer, what's your position and who do you work for?
Myself, but
Okay.
I have a purchase agreement through a real estate company to purchase the property.
Okay,
And we're just waiting to get it finalized so I can buy it.
all right. And you've done it, you've looked at the property, you've inspected it, taken a look at it,
Yes, sir.
and you're
Yeah.
taking it as is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know there's been no water there since 13. There was at least a note in the inspection report, there's an infestation problem, and the garage is boarded up. Is that part of you anticipate taking care of all those things over the summer?
Yes, sir.
When's the closing set?
It has not been set.
It has not been said, actually. We were waiting on this hearing.
Is the agreement signed, or is it just
No, it has not. I'm waiting to get it signed.
Yeah,
everything waiting on the hearing?
yeah.
Okay, so I think what the city's position would be in this situation would be to enter the order, and we'll just hold on doing anything on the order until August 28th. That'll give you time to close.
Okay.
Tell us, you'll have to get an inspection with Mr. Cook.
Okay.
Okay, with the building department. Schedule that, and then by August 28th, hopefully you'll be moving forward, and we can, take it from there. Do you have any,
Should come back here on August 28th?
yeah, do you have any objection to the city entering the order of demolition, but holding it until August 28th?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Make a motion, we affirm the order, but hold it till August 28th.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And that was pursuant to the stipulation and agreement of the parties. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. Make sure to get that inspection scheduled, okay?
Okay.
All right.
4835 Oak.
We'd ask that this is actually, they're moving right along, and it was inspected back in August 13, and they're really making great progress. We'd ask that it be continued to August 28th.
So moved.
Motion,
Second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. 6122 Ray.
6122 Ray. We do have good service on this property. It's been vacant for some time. We'd ask that the order be affirmed as presented. No one appears.
So moved.
Motion, second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. 6446 Tennessee.
6446 Tennessee. Hi.
Hi.
Could you go ahead and state your name?
Dale DeBoer at 1572 177th Place.
Mr. President, Mr. DeBoer has paid for an inspection just recently and is in the process of getting that completed. We'd ask that this be continued to the August date to allow that inspection to take place, and we'll have a better idea on where Mr. DeBoer is on that property by then. August 28th, we request.
Affirm it, or
No, just request the status for that date.
make a motion, we request status by August 28th.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Ayes
All right,
have it.
thank you.
7441 Van Buren.
7441 Van Buren. No one appears. We do have good service. We request the order be affirmed as presented.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Item H, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting approval of Sergeant M. Darnell to receive evidence technician specialty pay and the transfer of civilian Art Terry to the jail section uniform division as a booking clerk with specialty pay.
Make a motion to confirm Chief Doty's request.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item I, hearing on property located at 1010 Hoffman Street. Boston.
Is that yours, 1010 Hoffman?
Yes, it is, I'm sorry.
You got the podium.
We've been on this hearing schedule for January 21st and May 1st. On the city's motion, it was continued from January 31st.
Is that the property owner next to you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the property owner next to me, Rosalie Thompson. And it was continued by the city on the city's request till today, solely on the reason being was that I had presented a letter from the state building code director, which indicated that the city had exceeded its authority in citing fire separation as a reason. The city asked to continue it to this day solely on that reason. Yesterday, I received some hand-delivered discovery from the city, and at this time I'd move to strike that discovery. The reason being is it had nothing to do with the reason this meeting was continued to today.
But everything to do with this case.
It has nothing to do with the reason that this was continued to today, which was the only reason this was continued today was for the city to address the letter that I submitted to the board, a copy of the letter from Dean Illingsworth. The other matter being that, they delivered it to me 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I only got it because I was doing triple duty. This receptionist was home sick. I certainly did not have time to review it with my client adequate times. And again, it's not for the reason that this hearing was continued. So I would move that be stricken, disallowed.
Mr. President, this is a quick response. The reason the previous hearing was continued is because the Indiana Department of Homeland Security had issued some statements or had issued sort of an opinion letter. In investigation into the allegations contained in this, which involved fire codes, it was discovered that there was a fire department record on this property going back to 1961. I only received this yesterday, and I think it was after 2 o'clock.
It goes back to 1948.
I'm sorry, it goes back to 1948, and it shows, because of the previous fires and fire codes, it shows previous uses. So it goes exactly to the point of this case, is how long has this been a multi-unit? So why it might be late, if Mr. Buxton wants a continuance based on this late receiving, I would not object to that. It is completely relevant. It was discovered as a result of investigation of the state Department of Homeland Security letter.
Refresh our memory. We want it taken from what to what?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is 4 units, and the building speak up?
2.
To 2 years. And in investigating the discovery that was given at the last hearing, it was discovered there were fire records on this property, and the fire records indicate that it should be R for the department of safety.
What do you recommend as far as continuing?
Well, it's up to Mr. Foskey. If he requests a continuance, he would be perfectly entitled to it, because like I said, I think I received this at 3 o'clock when I got back to the police report. This person I saw was yesterday afternoon. However, I don't believe it should be struck because it's completely relevant to the proper use and historic use of this property, which is the issue before the board.
I'd like to ask if the city did what they said they were going to do and contacted the code enforcement officer of the Department of Homeland Security, which was the reason for the continuance to today. We were prepared on January 1st for a hearing. We were prepared on May 1st for a hearing. Both times the city was not ready. The city's been in a rush to deprive my client of her personal property, and then when we're ready to defend ourselves, they're not ready to go to the hearing. So I'd like to ask if they did indeed address what they said they were going to address at the last meeting.
We do have...
Which was the reason for the continuance.
Is this the old Tucker's Tap?
No.
You said bar, I was trying to visualize it.
We do have responses to that discovery regarding the...
From the Homeland Security?
Correct.
You don't have that?
Did I see that?
Okay, let's take up the discovery motion. You're on the air.
Okay. All right, this was in response to the Homeland Security letter that was sent. Everything Mr. Illingsworth in the letter said is true, and we do follow that. Indiana code states if a building was constructed according to prevailing code at that time and is maintained in that condition, and the use has not changed, then we cannot require current codes to be enforced. However, this is not the case in this situation. Our contention is that the original usage was different and its condition was not maintained. This would mean that the code in use at the time it was legally converted would be in effect. Since we contend there was no legal conversion, current codes would prevail. As specifically to the questions...
He's not being responsive to my question.
As specifically to the questions, question number 1 does not apply to this case. We are not enacting building or fire codes that are stricter than those passed by the State Commission. As specifically to question number 2, the City of Hammond has received approval for the attached ordinances. As specifically to question number 3, the 1988 ordinance number 7050 does not apply. This ordinance applies to 1- and 2-family dwellings. This is not a 1- and 2-family dwelling. The 1986 ordinance refers to the adoption of the Building Code of 1985. Regardless, permits and fire separation would still be required at that time. Question 4 does not apply. The usage has changed repeatedly over the years.
I would object to this form of narrative testimony.
You asked for answers, I will give them. A legal conversion was never made.
I would like to see those answers in writing so I could study them to prepare a proper response.
Anytime you repair, remodel, or replace, you must come to current code. The usage of this building has changed numerous times. And question number 5 does not apply to this case because the usage of the building has changed repeatedly over time. Be happy to show that evidence.
Well, this is a hearing. I prefer some semblance of due process where we don't have narrative, we have questions and answers, and I'm able to...
Rebut, let's go.
Rebut? This is the first time I've heard this, okay? We have a letter from the state that we gave you that indicates that in the state building commissioner's opinion, the city has not done what it needs to do to use what it charges here against my property. International fire safety codes have not been, is more strict than the state building code. The city has not submitted that to the state for approval. the two ordinances, the state only shows two ordinances that the city has submitted for approval, one in 1986, one in 1988. And that, neither one of those is the state, is the code. I think the evidence will show he's making some definitive conclusion statements, which are, the evidence will show that this building, A, has been properly permitted for its work that has been done on it. Two, the city's records are not, have no indicia of credibility because they are not complete as far as what permits have been pulled, what permits have not been pulled. So we're arguing right now on the motion to strike the
Discovery.
discovery that was given to me yesterday. We'll continue the hearing. I would not be opposed to continuing the hearing if, and I guess, you know, the city hasn't answered. Did they contact the state building commissioner, as they indicated they were going to, which was the reason for this continuance? Or are those just your conclusions from your research of your records?
I personally did not contact Mr. Illingsworth. Whether Mr. Kearney, Mr. Callahan, or Mr. Cook did, I do not know.
Mr. Cook did?
I said I do not know.
So here we got, this is what we always have at it. You know, you got like 5 different hands. You work with one and then, oh, well, no, the other guy did. I don't know.
You've been there before, you know how it works. Attorney Cantor?
I object.
Is there a problem with continuing this matter?
No, Mr. Rossi objected to the last continuances, that's why I said it would have to be his motion, and I would not object to it, because I only received this yesterday as well, so.
How far?
I'm not moving to continue it. I said I withdraw my objection.
You just got done saying you don't have a problem with continuing.
Right.
How far would you like to
But
go?
it's the city's motion to continue, is it not?
It will be my motion, but I want to know how far you want to go.
Well, I tell you what, how about 30 days so I can meet with the city and find out what they've learned from the state? And we've met with them once before, tried to get a resolution of this. We're happy to meet with them again.
Chris, 30 days?
Would you tell me what date that will be, because I will not be here that last Thursday, because I'm going to be at the municipal law.
June 19th?
That's fine. June 19th, no problem. Following that, we'll not be here.
Make a motion, we continue till June 19th.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item K, clearing up property located at 5502 Ellis. This we did.
Aye.
All right, Mr. President, sorry, for clarification, this is a property that we ordered to be demolished. The structure itself, the house, just like the issue with Calumet, says 5502 Allison. However, it is not the proper address. The proper address is Fayette. But they put an address, 5502 Allison, in front of it. That's what we used. We sent the notice to it. This is the owner. He was properly notified. And we were just basically here to see if he's going to require us to resend it to the Fayette address before we demolish the house. 32 days.
That's the one that Matthew took care of, was out of order.
So this is the owner, 5502 Alice, which is not actually 552 Alice, even though it's probably the mail comes.
Yeah.
It's 840 Fayette or something, whatever.
On the corner? Okay.
Right.
Never knew that was Fayette.
That's what it shows on the template. Yeah, when we went to do the demolition.
It was 670, Fayette, the other, my other. Anyway, I wanted
Sir, you want to state your name?
to, Steve Skirmine, I'm a homeowner. I'd just like to show some good faith intentions that I want to fix the house.
Yeah,
All
how
right.
are you going to do that?
Well, right now, she wants to look at it. I'm in the process of getting a loan to refinance to fix it. But I'd like to ask the board if I could get the promissory bond down
something I can afford.
We've done that before. Mr. President, basically, in order to rehabilitate a property, the agreement to rehabilitate is required, and there is a requirement of posting of a performance bond. However, under good cause, the city has previously waived the requirement of a performance bond, especially if it's an owner-occupied property. But you don't actually live in the house next door, right?
Yeah, I own both of them.
Okay, yeah, but, so I mean, it's sort of owner-occupied in that
Yeah.
he doesn't live in Mount Point, he lives in the house right next door.
Is this vacant?
Yes.
Right now it is, yeah.
Yeah, NIPSCO's actually cut the power. We were preparing to demolish it when we discovered there was a discrepancy with the address.
But it just behooves me to fix property because I live right next to it, a stone's throw, not even,
You
and
get the inspection from Kurt, enter the agreement to rehabilitate, but right now, the reason we're here is he's asking you to waive the requirement of posting a performance bond.
Is that a motion?
My motion.
What was the motion?
Waive the performance bond.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Ayes have it.
thank you.
And all you need to do is have it first.
All got it done.
And then just give him, yeah, he just left it upstairs and you just do an inspection. And we write up the agreement.
Have the garage in here, I've already, less than 500, I already did what you wanted. Wasn't the issue, I know. The curb.
Item L, hearing on property located at 4347 Torrance Avenue.
This was before the board 60 days ago. The owner was given 60 days to supply me with the structural engineer report, pretty much telling us whether it was built on a foundation or not. It's a garage illegally converted into 2 apartments. I've had contact with the homeowner. It was very close after the first hearing, and I haven't heard since.
So no contact at all since then?
Not since about 2 weeks after the first hearing. And they're not here today. I'd ask that you affirm the order and give us another status date of 30 or 60 days to give him some time. Maybe he can, get something by then.
What was the original for? Was it demo?
No, it's for the to go back to a garage. Yes.
Oh, okay, I remember now. You want 30 days? I mean, if they haven't contacted you, where are we?
I mean, we can affirm it, and that's ultimately what I would like.
Chris, what do you want to do? I mean, they haven't contacted them in 60 days.
Yeah, well, why don't we just affirm the order recorded on the property, and then there's always time to, they don't contact them. So it keeps them from transferring the property.
Make a motion that we affirm the order.
Motion,
Second?
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Oh, okay, you're down.
Thank you.
Item M, hearing on the property located at 7144 Grand.
Good morning. My name is Larry Boonder. Oh, I'm sorry. This was in regard to property at 744 Grand. It is currently a 2-unit building, a first and second floor, 2 different apartments. What came up, this was that it was not zoned for a 2-unit building, and that the city was going to require that it go back to a single-family home. It was continued because of, no lack of information as far as when it happened and how it happened and if it was ever legally converted. And I know that, we have talked, and basically what it comes down to is that the records are inconclusive at best. What I've been able to find out, which unfortunately is not necessarily in my favor, but just where it is that the previous to, currently is, I believe, what they call the zoning is R1, okay? Previous to that, back in 1951, it was zoned A, which is, from what I understand, basically the same as R1 single-family home. But this was sketchy information at best. That apparently there's not very good, records. Part of what was, came from was a bad photocopy of a newspaper article saying what was zoned in the map. Interestingly enough, when it was built, it was zoned industrial. They have no record of it ever changing from there. But as it stands now, okay, it is a 2-unit building. I have owned it for 30-some years. It was, has always been a 2-unit building, but it is in a single-family zone. And there was a number of permits pulled over the years for different things. In 1958 is when the permit was pulled to put dormers on it, the second-story dormers, which is, as far as we can tell, is apparently when it was converted over to a 2-unit building, because it was, the second story was made into a separate apartment. It is, currently has separate entrances and everything, and is, set up to be a 2-unit building. Has been that way as long as I've owned it for 30-some years. As far as I can tell, it has been that way since 1958. But there's no indication or no record of ever stating that it was legally, converted over to a 2-unit building, other than the fact that there were dormers put in. But that's the only information that was available on that permit at the time. It didn't say that it was or wasn't converted over to a 2-unit building at that point. We're assuming that it was. Obviously, my request would be that it be able to maintain a 2-unit building, because it always has been, since, 50, 60 years. It has been even, though it is not rated, zoned in that. There's no other evidence that I've been able to find stating one way or the other as far as what was ever done, other than the fact that there was a record of a permit, which I think is all that you have, right? Yeah. So my request is that, it be able to maintain a 2-unit building.
It was built in 1941. It was a 5-room frame home. In 1957, our record show 57, not 58. It was the frame double dormers. Then in 1975, it had a room addition, and there are several other permits, but none of them were ever to make it a 2-unit home. It lacks fire separation. It's just not 2 units. It's a single family.
I would be more than happy to bring it up to code to 2-unit building, fire separation, and all that stuff, if it would be approved.
It is a large home, and I thought it quite odd until I went on another inspection, and the house is sort of same style as his. And it's a single-family home. It's just a huge home, and they built them like that back during this time. It's a single-family home.
Fire separation, the only thing that's lacking?
Yeah, it's lacking fire separation. No, there was no electrical permits to do it.
On the inspection, there were a couple of electrical issues. Okay.
Separate heat, electricity, and everything? Everything's separated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Separate furnaces, separate water. The only thing that's separate.
2 meters.
Yeah, 2 gas meters, 2 electric meters. The only thing that is single is a water meter.
To the inspector, not tell everything properly. Is this something that we can work out with them, or something we just need to get into the order?
Well, we don't know what it's going to cost to actually do the fire separation. Maybe we need to give them an opportunity to look into that and see if it's feasible.
Personally, I don't need a continuance. Okay, when the inspector was there was an issue in, just to find out what was ever legally done. Okay, the fire separation basically is from what the inspector was there is one room with utility room. It does not currently have the proper amount of drywall to separate the 2 floors.
Does the inspector go back through the building, tell you specifically what needs to be done?
I'm fine with that, although it was already done and he did give me a complete list. Okay.
Can you afford to do those changes?
Oh, yes, I have. The only reason I haven't done them yet is because I was waiting to see what was going to happen with this. If they're going to make it go back to single-family home, then, personally, my options are probably to sell it, okay, because it is an income property for me.
You can make it safe, that's always our concern, is safety. If you can make it safe, and willing to do it, that's the fun.
Absolutely.
So at this point, this property is a legal non-conforming use.
So we're gonna let them make the repairs and go back out and inspect it, or are we gonna?
That's up to the board, how do you want to do it, Jimmy? If he says he's gonna do it, he'll already know he's bring it back, if he doesn't do it.
I don't want to give them 60 days to make some repairs and they come back with the same recommendation that they got to get rid of it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't, because,
Understandable.
How long will it take you to do the repairs?
I would like, 60 days at least, if that's possible. But again, I would like to know that it's gonna stay a 2-unit building before I put the
I guess the
time.
question before the board is, if he makes the proper repairs, is the board going to allow him to continue? I think that's really what it comes down to.
Well, they come back with a request, and we don't want it to be a 2-unit, then we're stuck again.
Correct.
So,
that's-
and he made the repairs, for you guys to be okay with 2 units. If he has a fire separation and everything, like I said, we need to know.
I would like one of my supervisors to make that decision and not me, because we are instructed to, if it's an unsafe building, if it was not built as a 2-unit, it's in a single-family home resident, area, that it goes back to what it was.
Which side of the street?
On the west side,
It's on the west, it's on the west side.
down from the old library.
The
what?
Is that what the dump used to be?
No, it's down from Morton, that's the. West side.
It's between Morton and the middle school.
Why don't we give him an opportunity to meet with staff, work this out, and then come up with a proposal so that we could approve it at a future meeting? Says, yeah, here's what he's gonna do.
He needs to talk to the person.
That's probably the best we're gonna be able to do today.
Okay,
Give you 30 days, you can talk to Kirk between now and then.
I'm gonna cooperate in any way I can, other than the fact that I have already talked to them, and what basically I was informed is that it's gonna come back to you guys to be your
Okay, well,
decision.
she's not prepared to make.
Yeah, I understand.
a decision, So she's gotta talk to her bosses. I recommend that,
Make a motion that we move it
30 days.
30 days, and you need to talk to the
If
official.
you want to confirm that they're going to accept it,
yeah.
Okay.
and spend the money.
Absolutely.
And I think you need to talk with staff to get that worked out, and then you probably don't even have to come to the board if there's an agreement submitted to the board that says, hey, I'm going to do all these improvements, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Motion,
30 days.
Second.
second, all those in favor, 30 days. That's the
Thank you.
best way to go. Item N, rental registration hearing on property located at 837 Eaton.
All right, Mr. President, this is a single-family home that was registered on time at 12 and 13. Is this with you?
Somebody's coming up.
Oh, okay. The information I have is Mrs. Rodolfo Diaz.
Yes, that's my son.
Oh,
But he had to work. So he took,
It's a single-family home and it's always been registered previously on time. I believe that there was an issue with the notices this year. A lot of the water bills weren't received by people until after the deadline.
So it's just 14 it wasn't registered?
Correct.
I make a motion that we waive the late fee, but you gotta pay the $80 fee within 30 days.
All right, sir, they're gonna waive the late fee, but you have to pay $80 for it.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
you want to put it down?
Maybe we talk to the meeting, we can take it.
Okay.
Rental registration hearing on property located at 517 Goslin.
All right, Mr. President, I have, for this one that you are Sylvia Milosevic?
517 Goslin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, 517, I need to look at Sylvia. All right, you're John Rowan?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sorry. 4 units, you registered late in 2012, you registered late in 2007. That's the information I have for this property.
You own any other properties in the city, sir?
I do not. I came in on the 16th at 9 o'clock, and I understand they're due on the 15th. But I don't believe we received statements and so forth, and I'm surprised. We've always paid. I mean, and I was prepared to pay today.
What year, Chris, was he late this year?
He was registered in 2012, he was obviously late in 2014, and he registered on time, excuse me, in 2013.
Make a motion that we waive the late fee, but it's a 4 unit?
Correct.
That the $320 has to be paid by the end of the month or the end of this?
End of today?
Well, let's do it in a week. Don't
He's
worry.
got it when he shows me the check.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion,
Second.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item P, rental registration hearing on property located at 2465 Birch and 1204 Lakeview Street.
This one should be Sylvia Wilson. All right, Mr. President, I'm sorry, I'm out of order. For 2465 Birch, 2 units, she's registered on time previously. And for 1204 Lakeview, she's registered on time except for 2010.
That's when I bought the building and I was not quite sure what I was doing with it. And this time, what happened to me, at the beginning of the month, I got notice for my father. He got very ill. He got cancer. He lives in Windsor, and I was there for 2 weeks going to a doctor's test. He has dementia. He cannot handle himself, and I was the only one person to handle. I'm still going through the, back and forth. And I got here on 16th, about 1 o'clock. I left Canada in the morning, and I wanted to pay, and they told me that I have to come here, and I'm just like going through a difficult time.
You were in Canada?
Yeah, I was in Canada.
It's 1 unit each, Chris?
No, Mr. President, it's 3 units on Lake and 2 units on Birch, so a total of 5 units.
Make a motion that we waive the late fee, but all 5 units at $80 per unit have to be
I'll
registered
pay
by.
for it today. I'll just go down and pay.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item Q, 36 Warren Street, rental registration hearing.
For this one should be Donna Giano Arundano. Arundano, Warren. The only information I have is they registered every year on time except for 2009.
Motion that we waive the late fee. How many units?
I just have, it doesn't say it, I will suspect it's one.
At the $80 rate for 14.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Rental registration hearing, property at 28 Webb.
Mr. President, actually, this one is Damian Vega.
Yes, hello?
Mr. Vega's here.
Hello, Mr. President?
He's been on time, it's 2 units every year except 2008.
Make a motion that we waive the late fee and register 2 units at $80 a unit.
Thank you.
The motion,
Second.
all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item S, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearing. After the 11th is...
July 12th. Chris, we got a lot scheduled for July 12th, don't we, 2 weeks in a row or something?
I thought it was in June.
July 12th is a Saturday.
I'm sorry, I was looking at June.
About July 10th.
July 10th.
Oh, July 10th? July 3rd? We have the meeting July 3rd? Okay, do July 3rd? Oh. Okay, what's the third meeting tonight?
17th.
Yes.
July 17th is my motion.
Motion,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item T, release and termination of ingress and egress easement for property located at 651 Conkey Street.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the release of the ingress and egress. Second. Ingress and egress easement.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item U, correspondence received from Mr. Kent Hill requesting the rental registration hearing set for May 29, 2014 be continued.
Which property was that? This one here? 7516 Jarnecki.
Make a motion that we continue this to July 17th.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Correspondence received from Mr. Tom White requesting the hearing set for May 29, 2014 for property located at 1004 Cherry Street.
Mr. President, this property has been continued 3 times by his attorney, Mr. Golding. I spoke with Mr. White yesterday. His attorney is not returning his phone calls. I suggest that we go ahead with the hearing that's scheduled for May 29th. It's an attic attic bedrooms, 6.5 feet ceiling. It's pretty cut and dry case. There's really no need. It's vacant right now.
What was the original thing you wanted to removal?
Removal of the attic apartment.
Right. Bedrooms, really.
Get it to the building, who was not formally withdrawn, but he's not formally.
Oh, I got it. We have a letter from him.
Oh, is he withdrawn?
No. I hope
Oh, okay.
It says continuance till end of June. I am contracting another attorney to help get every opinion on the matter. I am trying to get architects to confer in the matter, but there are not many in Northwest Indiana, and I may get one in Chicago.
I recommend that we go ahead with the hearing scheduled for May 29th. All right.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item W, specific finding of fact and decision on property located at 7017 Marshall Avenue, rear, 4325 Elm Avenue, 7009 Lindbergh Avenue, 7551 Howard, 6814 Colorado, 7238 Jarneke, and 910 Morris.
Make a motion that we affirm your findings.
Second.
The motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item X, agreements to rehabilitate property located at 1009 Morris and 6735 Carolina.
Mr. President, those are previously ordered demolition properties. These would be agreements to rehabilitate. I would just ask the board to please sign them.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Those are demos. Those are two demos.
So your recommendation is approve it?
Correct. I'm correct.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item Y, correspondence received regarding the payment for public safety officers for Leon's Triathlon.
Mr. President, if you will recall, we previously approved the route, but not the closure of the streets until we were assured that the additional cost of police and fire and the triathlon would be covered. There has been a written correspondence to the Port Authority that has been accomplished, and I would ask you to approve the street closure for that to be done.
Certified check. I'll make a motion that we, make a motion that we,
The motion,
do the closing of the streets.
Second.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item Z, correspondence received from Councilwoman at Large Janet Vanez requesting the curbs at the stop signs on the corners of Maywood Avenue and Wilcox Street be painted.
Motion to refer to Gary Gleason.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item AA, approved block party request received from the Hammond Police Department.
I'd like to make a motion that we concur with the chief's recommendation.
So moved.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item BB, correspondence received from Mr. Joe Kruzek requesting a no parking here to corner sign be placed in the alley at the garage on Lincoln Avenue and 984 Reese Avenue.
Motion to refer to Gary Gleason for recommendation.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item CC, garage sale permits submitted for approval.
Make a motion that we approve them all.
Motion, second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item double D, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing set for July 3rd, 2014, be held prior to that date.
It's just one, Mr. President, we can probably squeeze it in any time, make sure one on council.
According to him, he's renting it from his parents, so if we just had him, can you get a hold of him and he can come in and sign the, we don't have to have him here?
Or we can send an affidavit, or we can move it up to next week, once to next week. if you want.
I'll make a motion that we move it up to next week.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Double E, letter of authorization consultant NDA for Diversity Com, Inc. to operate as our agent to AT&T.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve
Second.
letter of authorization.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Any matters from board members?
I have one. I've got a request from Gus Arana of Norfolk Southern Railroad. He's requesting the closure of Parish Avenue south of 169th Street from June 3rd to June 24th. They're going to rebuild the crossing. He had also asked for Arizona, and the chief and I discussed it and decided that we couldn't have both of those closed simultaneously. So we're only granting approval for Parish.
Arizona, the subway.
Yeah.
Make a motion that we approve his request.
Motion,
Second.
all those in favor? Ayes have it. Any other matters from board members? Item 7, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Item 8, new business. Item 9, old business. Item 10, meeting is now open to the public. Yes, sir.
Good morning, first of all. My name is Cal. I own Hammond Pond. My business license was...
What's your name?
My name is Cal Muhammad.
Thank you.
Okay, my business was...
What's the address of
The address 120 Sibley, Hammond Pond.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted
It's
to...
across the street from Shrek and Van Tel. Okay, what happened is, it seemed like I had a court date on the 8th. Okay, and I did not know about the court date. I have a girl that's working there. She misplaced the papers, so I just didn't know. If I would have known, I would have appeared in court. As a result, they revoked my business license. You know what? I'm not using that for a pawn. I'm only using it for resale. Like I buy and sell, and I go by the record. I always take the licenses, and I always take the IDs and everything, and I report. I mean, I write down all the documents that's on the items, and I'm using this to buy gold too, that location over there. And I always go by the book, and I really don't know what's going on and what is it all about. I just don't know nothing. All I know that a couple of officers appeared a couple of days ago, and they said that you cannot buy or sell anything. You know, because the court date, like I said, the girl that was working for me, it seemed like she received some papers about some court date, and she misplaced them, and she never told me anything about it. Otherwise, I would have been here. And the reason I'm here right now is actually to request to reinstate my business license. And that's all.
Mr. President, this is one of those, we had the large number of the cash for gold stings. Do you have a cash for gold license?
Well, you know what, there's no...
Do you or do you not?
Yes, I do. The pawn license is cash for gold license. It's the same license.
And you have a retail license?
It's the same license.
No, there's the retail sales, like you sell Twinkies and hot dogs, there's retail sales, and then there's the cash for gold pawn license. You have 2 licenses.
They never told me this. I can get this right now.
You have 2.
I have no problem with it.
And you also, are you a member of Leads Online?
No, I'm not.
And you have to subscribe to that, because that way if you take in something like you just took in a cell phone, they wrote you a ticket 2 days ago.
I never took that cell phone. I'm just telling you, they came in and they tried to sell it for me, and the girl told them, no, we cannot take it.
Because it was the wrong provider.
But we never took that cell phone.
They would take next of an upright, whatever.
And we would have took I would have took the numbers on that phone and everything. But, okay, All I'm saying is, I'm willing to go by code, and I'm willing to do everything, but I want to reinstate my license.
He needs to get compliant. He needs to have, if he's gonna do pawning, catch the gold, he has to have a license for that. If he's gonna do retail sales, he needs to have a license for that. He needs
Okay.
to subscribe to Leads Online, he needs to follow the ordinance.
I have no problem with it.
Okay, sir, and if you're willing to meet the, what Attorney Cantor just told you have to do to operate,
But if we pull his license, he can't go back and just renew it, right?
He actually was pulled because he didn't appear back on May 8th.
And I didn't know about it.
So, I mean, you could reinstate it if you wanted to, it's up to you, it's up to the board. He is here now.
If I knew that I had a court date on the 8th, I would have been here.
How about if we do this? Can we get a hold of somebody, Lynn, from the police department to see if there's been any previous?
The Detective Detterline just wrote him a ticket 2 days ago, I have it on my desk, for the cell phone.
But he wasn't even supposed to be open,
Right.
number
No,
one.
no, but what I'm saying is, I didn't know that I was supposed, but.
I understand that.
Right,
or we
right.
want to try and get you back in business.
No problem.
Can we have the police department look into this address to see if there's been anything previous until 2 days ago? And then have them come back?
Well, what he needs to do is, I think it'd be best if he calls Detective Detterline over at the police department and finds out exactly what he has to do to be compliant.
Okay. Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Detective
Give me
Detterline?
numbers. I will call,
853-2906.
Okay, can you write it down for me? I can't remember that. Just write it down here.
The guy who came in.
No problem. I didn't know. I didn't see him.
No, him meeting the requirements of the city.
My motion is that you have to meet all the requirements to operate legally.
I will.
If everything comes out good, then you can reapply for your license. And then whatever Attorney Cantor said, that leads online or whatever.
For example, like somebody takes in a Yoda watch.
Can you write it down for me?
What they do is they put it into a nationwide system, so if somebody's Yoda watch has come up stolen, they can search for it and find that it was taken in their phone.
Motion, second, all in
Lead from
favor?
Mike.
Ayes
Oh, just
have it.
Mike.
Item 11.
As of this now, I cannot do anything till I call.
Motion, second, sayonara.